Hey everyone, thank you very much for coming back on the channel. Because of you, this channel is continuously growing and I'm very much happy and thankful. You might be having a lot of work experience. You are having great CV and you appeared for your job interview, but still you are not hired. Do you know what are the reasons why people not being hired? Let's talk in this video. We will divide this video into two segments. One, those reasons which are happening before you interact with any human being. And the second one, when you interact with a human being, what you do, what kind of mistakes you do. So let's talk first of all, before interacting with a human being, what are the errors, what are the points people do which are wrong, they should not do, and those are the reasons they are not hired. Number one is you are underqualified. The potential job requires you must be having a master's degree or you should be having a 5 to 10 years experience. You do not have the relevant set of skills, qualification or experience, or you are having the shorter experience. That's the reason you are underqualified for that role. Number two, overqualified. This is another interesting thing. A lot of time, recruiters do not shortlist those candidates who are overqualified. No one dislikes that their potential employee is going to having a lot of years experience and having a lot of certifications or qualifications. But the potential reason for not shortlisting those people is they think might be this candidate will not enjoy this role because this is a junior position. Assume a person who is having a 10-year sales or business development experience, and if he applies for a telesales job where the experience is just required 2 years or 1 year, of course they will not shortlist the CV of that person. And secondly, there is a fear that if they are going to hire a person who is overqualified for a position, after a couple of months or couple of years that person will leave the job because he might get a better opportunity and then he will leave this company. No company is ready to spend time, money, interview people and then train them for a position, and after that people will leave because they were overqualified. But if you think that still you can go for a junior position where you are overqualified, then you have to explain in your cover letter that what are the reasons why they should hire you. Number three, you're too much choosy or picky. You are having a dream job in your mind or you are having a dream company in your mind and you just want to work for that company. So if you are having 2, 3, 4 or 5 companies and you are having very specific role in your mind, likely there will be very less chances that you will reach to that job because of the competition or maybe companies not having that frequent openings. And sometime I have seen people apply for different roles targeting same company. So a lot of companies, let's say they are having a role of customer services and administration manager and business development manager. So one person think that, okay, I am very much suitable for all three positions. So when on and off the person will keep on applying same company but for the multiple position, it shows that you are more desperate to work for that company. You might not be that suitable candidate for that position or role. Number four, your resume is so sloppy. There are a lot of errors, mistakes. You should check spelling and grammar. You should review it yourself and you can ask one of your friends, your family member that they can review it for you. Or you can get a paid service of a recruitment consultant who is going to help you out by reviewing your CV and helping you to make it appropriate according to the role. Formatting is another challenge. A lot of people try to make their CV fancy with a lot of colors and logos and table and charts. Eventually nowadays almost 90% large organizations use applicant tracking system, which is going to shortlist, and that applicant tracking system cannot read images and pictures. So you have to keep your CV in plain text so that it could be read by applicant tracking system. Number five, your covering letter. I know that with the passage of time, there is not such a requirement of sending covering letter, especially when you're sending your CV by email, so email is fulfilling that purpose. But do understand, in a lot of jobs, they do ask to send cover letter and your CV. You have to send both things. You should not miss it. And in case they do not ask, still you have to send your CV by email and that email is going to work as a cover letter. So instead of copying same information which is already available on CV in your email or in the cover letter, Try to use it as an opportunity to explain why you are the best candidate for this position. And remember, in cover letter or in your email, do not mention that you are the best candidate. You do not know that who else is applying for a job. I'm sure there will be a lot of candidates and one is better than other always. Number 6, you do not have a stable job history. Your online profile, your CV, it shows that how consistent you are working for any organization. If you are a new graduate, maybe you are having a couple of internships, 6 months, 3 months, so you are having 4 to 5 different internships before applying for a job. It is acceptable for new grads. But if you are already experienced person with 5 to 7 years or 10 years experience, you are going to apply for a job, then this will be noticed that how long you have stayed with each organization. I will suggest at least it should be 18 months and it could be ideally 3 to 4 years at one position. Number 7, you thought it's a time to change your career. So you applied for a different position which is slightly or entirely different than your previous background. Now, of course, employer or recruitment manager will not prefer that people who are making a career change. It's not impossible, but it's very much difficult. So you have to explain and you have to make it sure that what kind of transferable skills do you have and how on the new role you can thrive and you can be a good candidate for that. So accordingly, you have to prepare your CV and accordingly should be your cover letter. Number 8, unrealistic expectations of salaries and remuneration. Sometimes people ask too high salary or sometimes it is too less. I will suggest before applying, you should do a little bit market research. Glassdoor, salary.com and PayScale. These are the different websites from which you can get this information that for this particular role, what is the salary which you should ask. No one wants to waste time on interview if your salary expectation is too high. Let's assume a company who is ready to offer a salary of $50,000 for a year and you are expecting $100,000. It doesn't make sense they should call you for interview because there is a huge gap. Of course, negotiation of 15, 20 to 30% is possible. And one more thing is sometimes they ask you history of your previous salaries. What were your previous 1, 2 or 3 salaries? If those salaries was quite higher and now you are asking for a smaller salary package, or those were smaller and now you are expecting a higher package. So of course, that could be a point also where recruiter will think that maybe you are not a right candidate for that position because they do have some budgets and they need to find candidate within that budget. Number 9, candidate is so much annoying. They call repeatedly, they follow up after every second day and asking what is the status of my job application. So you must understand what is the deadline to apply for jobs and after that allow a couple of weeks so that they can shortlist the people and then they can approach those who are more suitable for interviews. And number 10 is your personal brand. Who you are and how people see you. Best medium to see your activity and your personal brand is the social media, your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook, your Twitter or your Instagram. What kind of content do you post? What kind of posts do you share there? What kind of comments and interactions do you have with the people? Please keep in mind that social media you cannot hide. It is in the access of everyone, including your potential employer and recruiter. A survey shows 48% candidates are turned down because of the activities and what kind of social media do they have. So you have to be very much careful on this point. So after understanding the reasons why you are not being hired or called for interview, now let's talk about when you interact with a human being. What are those reasons which will make you not a suitable candidate and you will not be hired? Number 1 is first impression. First impression starts from the day when you responded to the email that you are coming for interview. What type of language did you use? How much professional you were? When the day of interview is there, how timely you reached to the place? Was it too early? Was it too late? What kind of clothes did you wear? So your dressing matter a lot. If you are going for a job, I will strongly recommend you to go in one of your best dress in order to make a better first impression. Greetings. When you reach to the office, you met people in the corridor, you met to the receptionist and you met your recruiter first time. How solid and confident greetings do you have? Makes difference. And then how seriously you are taking the interview opportunity. Do not take it for granted. Number 2, you went for the interview without any research about the company background. From where the company is, how many offices they have got, what products or services do they offer, who are their competitors, which industry is this, what are the industry trends and challenges, opportunities coming up. And a biggest mistake which people can do in the interview is asking interviewer, tell about your company, what do you do? It shows that you had no preparation, you had no research about the company. Number 3, you remained unable to prove why you are the best candidate for this position. When candidate remains unable to relate his skills, his previous experience and qualification with the role and the company expectation, that's another point which shows that you are not a suitable candidate. There is no excitement or passion that why they should choose you. Next reason, candidate remain unable to answer one, two, few, most of or all the questions during the interview. We are talking about the technical questions, your strengths, your weaknesses, what kind of achievements do you have, any situational questions, how to handle different situations, or handling difficult time or difficult conversation with colleagues, with manager, or with the clients. So when people remain unable to answer this kind of questions, this is another red sign that this person will not be hired. One important but a tricky question, why you lost your previous job, or why you were redundant, or why you were fired. This is a question where 90% candidates, they just lose their confidence how to speak and how to talk about that. My personal advice is, be honest. Your answer should be based on truth. If you will try to make any story, there will be lie, or you will try to become victim. There will be sooner time when company or recruiter will identify that what exactly was the reason. Maybe they can ask you to provide name of your ex-manager. They can simply call them to ask. And then not only you will lose opportunity to work for that company, moreover, it will be more embarrassing situation. So be honest when there is a question why you were fired or terminated or why you lost your previous job. Next thing is the attitude. The person when appears in front of the interviewer, they not only gauge his skills, knowledge, but they're also seeing how good cultural fit that person is, how much confident he is. Sometimes people are so overconfident, they are moody, they do not take this opportunity seriously, and they simply go in front of the interview and they speak a lot of lies in order to show that they are the best candidates. And that all shows there is no seriousness and person is not fully involved to talk about that position. Your body language is also very much important. The moment you will enter in the office, you will pull chairs, sit down, you will greet, there is a handshake, there is a facial expression, movement of your hand, how you are sitting on the chair, you are reclining or you are bending forward, how you are moving your hands, if you are having eye contact with all the interviewer or you are having just with the one person or there is no eye contact at all. So all these things matter a lot, your body language. So be very much confident, have a proper eye contact. Another reason for not hiring people is when people show desperation during the interview. They overpromise. They accept everything, whatever the recruiter is asking. They ask feedback of the recruiter. Was my interview good? Will I get this job? They ask for the salary. They ask for the working hours, holidays. So these are the things which should be initiated by the recruiter, by the interviewer, instead of the candidate. So all this shows that you are very much desperate and you want to just grab opportunity regardless whatever the requirements are, and you are not keen to add value towards the organization and the role, but you are more mean in order to grab this opportunity just for yourself. My next point is when people remain unable to provide any reference. Now reference does not mean only who can speak good about you. Sometimes during the interview they can ask about your previous clients. So let's say you appeared for a sales or business development job and they ask you, can you tell us your 3, 4 or 5 clients with whom you have worked previously or in most recently? So you should be having those names in your mind. Who from your previous company can speak in your favor? You should have those names in your mind. So whenever they will ask you, okay, can you tell us the name of your manager? We can speak with him as a reference. Yes, you should be having that names, 1, 2, 3 people in your mind. And please do not forget to inform those people that I mentioned your name in the interview and they might approach you talking about me. Might be you have given the reference of your ex-manager or ex-boss, and that company was where you have worked 8 years or 10 years ago. So might be they have even forgotten you, that who you are. So one morning, if your ex-line manager will receive a call and they will ask you, do you know person XYZ, he's looking for this job and we want to talk about that. Of course, maybe you are not in the mind of that line manager, and then situation will be not in your favor. I hope these tips will help you during your next job search. In case you are having still any question, send me down in the comment and I'll be happy to offer you any assistance which I can. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel. All the best.